Okay, please excuse this piece of hair here during the video because I have a fan blowing everything away and it's really frustrating me with the heat, but it's okay. Now I look weird. I look like half an egg. Anyway, let's start. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Diana here today with you, and today we are gonna speak about the pros and cons of living here in Japan. I just calculated how long I've been living here and it came up to 10 months. It has been a very good 10 months. I do like it here, but of course, living in different places, even in my home country in the UK, there are multiple pros and cons, and I will be sharing that with you today. So let's get started. So number one on my list is grocery shopping and affordable grocery shopping. So in Japan, although living costs are getting much higher, even though there are supermarkets that of course provide higher priced products, there are multiple of other choices with much more affordable prices, making it easy to do grocery shopping, but also to eat healthy. From my own experience in the UK, eating healthy was a bit hard because it was more on the higher end of the price. In Japan, I think you can get a lot of different healthy products for a very good price. Also, not only grocery shopping, but restaurants. So even restaurants in Japan, for example, Origin Bento or Bento Origin, it provides kind of like a home-cooked meal type of food, and it is very good, very affordable, but also on the healthier side. So yeah, I think Japan has a wide variety of options, making it easy for people to remain on their budget. My second pro is Japan has a solution for everything, like literally everything. When I go to like the 100 yen shop, the bigger ones, they just have like so many things that I didn't know even existed or was a problem. So maybe I should make a video about that in the future. It's pretty interesting. But even now, like with the heat, they have like little heat packs to put on here. And I know in the winter you can stick like a heat pack. Maybe as a British person, I don't really experience that in the UK, but it is something new to me. Recently, my favorite one is this little, what do you call this? Refrère, I think. This product is amazing. So when I first came to Japan, of course, one of the top things that most people say is bring a lot of deodorant. But this product, like when I put it on, there is no smell and it's just so good. I highly recommend. I even bought this for my boyfriend because I was like, this is way too good, and it's quite cheap. It's only like around 900 or 1000 yen. I discovered this a few weeks ago and definitely one of my top favorite products here in Japan. So like I said, they have very good products, very good quality, and for multiple reasons. It doesn't matter if you want home supplies or beauty or cosmetics, Japan has it all, in my personal opinion. So my pro number 3 is healthcare here in Japan. My experience in healthcare has been very good, and I am surprised by how cheap it is. Of course, I'm from the UK and the tax we pay goes into the NHS, so whenever I go to the doctors, I don't really feel like I'm paying in a way. In Japan, compared to what I heard in America, like the prices of hospital bills or a lot of those, I once had to call the ambulance to my house. We went to the hospital as an emergency, but it was very cheap. I was expecting like a very high price, like maybe 10,000 or something like that, but it only came down to around 2,000 or 1,000 something, I believe. Of course you have to pay health insurance here, but I think it is definitely worth it, and the quality and care that you receive is also very good. So that is my point number 3. Now let's do pro number 4. So this one for me has been kind of like a big one. When I used to live in London, whenever I got a parcel, I always had to deal with the issue of my parcel being delayed, lost, and misplaced somewhere. But in Japan, everything is on time. Even parcel delivery, they come in the selected time that you say. For instance, when I first came here and I had my suitcases, they came exactly on the time that it stated. And when I got my sofa here, it also came in the time slot that I selected. It is very reassuring because you can just keep this time slot available and you can have a free day off after, or feel comfortable to do anything after. But when I was in the UK, if I had a delivery, I would be checking it all the time to see where exactly it is. But in Japan, I have never had this problem so far. So maybe it is luck, but definitely that's one of the top things I really like here in Japan. Now pro number 5, which is the people here and the cleanliness that comes along with it. Japan has a really big culture, and it's so beautiful, so amazing, so interesting to learn every day. But on top of the culture, they have a very big sense of cleanliness, which was something that I really admired in Japan. Even though it is very difficult to find a rubbish bin here, I sometimes see like local people even picking up litter or volunteering to just pick up litter around the area, and the bins are separated accordingly to the dates, and everyone respects that. Even at home, when you finish food, eating yogurt and you're left with a little cup or something, in Japan they clean it before throwing it away. So anything they use, they clean before throwing it away, even inside the milk bottle or anything like that. For me, in the UK, I don't know if other people do this, but I've never done this and never quite thought of doing that. But since I moved to Japan, it has just been a common habit now, just to clean before throwing away. So yeah, I really like that aspect of Japan. So that's it for the pros. Now let's do some cons here living in Japan. What are they? Let's see. Con number 1, I'm gonna be quite a hypocrite here, but Japanese bin systems are very confusing to my brain. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, but when I first came here, if I bought like a glass jar of jam or something that looks hard to throw away, I would avoid buying it just because I didn't want to have the stress of learning how to throw it away. Do you know what I mean? Rubbish system here sometimes is very strict. Luckily my area is not so strict, but the place I work in now is quite strict. They will pick up every piece of trash inside, check it, and then separate it themselves after you throw it away, which for me is like, whoa. But it's kind of good because of the recycling system here. So the PET bottles are all go in one place, cans all in one place, glass as well, paper is separated, plastic is separated. Even if you have a plastic bottle, you have to remove the label and the lid to throw away. Everything has its own designated time and day. So glass is on this day, paper is on this day, which is very nice. On my fridge, I have a little sheet that tells me which day is which, so I don't get confused. Now, con number 2, which is a little similar to con number 1, when you open your letterbox, it is jam-packed with paper. And I have no reason, like, okay, it's like advertisement or food or magazines or a whole bunch. So whenever I go home, I'm like, oh my god, I don't want to open this because it's gonna be absolutely just trash inside. Although Japan does have a very good recycling system going on, there is a bunch of paper that comes to your house every week, every month. So I don't know if it balances out, but that is like one of the most things that annoys me here. I don't want to deal with it anymore. I don't know if you can cancel it, but if you can, please let me know down in the comments. Okay, so con number 3 is friends. Making friends in Japan is very, very difficult, I think. Keeping in contact and becoming very close with them, which does bring a sense of loneliness. So yes, I do want to make more friends here. It is kind of difficult, especially now I work full-time, so I'm always at work. I think if you don't join a community or like a language school or something, then maybe it's a little bit more harder. So I am planning on joining a language school soon. But yes, that is one of maybe the small little cons here. Although people are very friendly and people are very nice, and I can see that they want to talk to you, they want to be friends with you, but to continue it for long is a little bit on the more difficult side. So con number 4 is rubbish bins. In Japan, it is very, very rare to find a rubbish bin on the road. Also, benches. In the UK, I think it's very easy to find benches, especially in the park. But in Japan, it's much more difficult to find. So one thing I usually say is that in the UK, it is hard to find toilets. But in Japan, it is easy to find toilets. But in Japan, it is hard to find rubbish bins, where in the UK, it is easy to find rubbish bins. So it kind of balances things out a little, maybe. But yes, I think that has been my point of view so far. And the last con I would say here is con number 5. The stress level here seem to be quite high. I know people that because of stress their hearing becomes like very weak or something, and it's very sad to see. And so many people are sleeping on the train from exhaustion. There are a lot of cases where you can see that some people are clearly overworked. It's not the best kind of situation here, but I would say it is definitely one of the top cons here in Japan. Although I do believe it is slowly changing recently, and hopefully in the near future, over time, will be eliminated from Japanese society. But hopefully the quality of work and life balance improves here. So that's it for today's video. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I hope you learned something about Japan through my pros and cons. If you have any similar experiences or any other pros or any other cons, please comment down below. And if you like this video, please subscribe, give a thumbs up, and hopefully in the next video I will share more things with you about Japan, life here, work here, anything that you are interested in. So thank you very much for coming, and I will see you in the next video. See ya!